Okay. We'll move to H2, Public Works. Who's here to speak on that?
Well, Larry's not here, but I guess Tony and I can address that.
We're going to pin this on Tony?
Yeah, we'll blame it on Tony if it goes too bad.
Thanks.
This is the architectural engineering consultant selection for the Courthouse Square modernization project, and the board has directed that we investigate and move forward in some space planning and changes. This will facilitate a part of that. We did an RFP for services to provide those architectural needs. After receiving those, we've convened a committee of individuals to evaluate those, including Supervisor Chapman, myself, Mr. Shaw, Treasurer Tax Collector Nancy Cardenas, Public Works Director Larry Millar, and Deputy Director Pete Heimbigner. We reviewed the proposals, which they're fairly voluminous. That's why they're not all included in the packet. I know Supervisor Chapman has a copy, and Supervisor Hemphill, and some of the rest of you have reviewed at least parts of them, and they're available for anyone to review, but they're kind of voluminous, so you might want to do so in the office. It was the consensus of the group to recommend that the county authorize myself to negotiate with Lionicus regarding an agreement to complete those architectural and engineering services for a contract that we brought back to this board for final approval.
Hey, questions, direction? Any questions from the public? Mrs. Spencer.
To my knowledge, there hasn't been a public outcry for a new boardroom. In fact, the only time you fill this up is when you screw up. Supervisor Chapman has tried 3 times in the past 3 years to get his new boardroom. What we have seen now is an obsession by an elected officer. There hasn't even been an outcry from you guys to get a new boardroom. It just seems to come from one person. Chapman's September 22nd attempt was a backroom, under the table, sleazy, unethical action on his part. He took advantage of the naivety of new supervisors, lack of knowledge, and in some cases lack of courage to stand up to him. Mr. Powell, you knew better, and you did not stop this. The last 3 years' tenure of this board has shown such contempt and disrespect for ethics and law. We are filing a Brown Act against this action. Can We Help has recently discovered that action was taken on a non-agendized RFP on September 22nd, 2015. The audio of Agenda H1, titled Project Schedules, discussions, clearly indicate that the RFP was never discussed. Regardless, this board released a request for proposal for the Courthouse Square modernization project. An ad was immediately placed illegally in the Lassen County Times on September 29th and October 6, 2015. This was an intentional deception by the Board of Supervisors, and it is actionable. The September 22nd board packet did not include a copy of the RFP for the Courthouse Square project, nor was there any vote to approve to release this, nor was it approved by County Council, nor was it approved or under scrutiny by the public. It was just quickly and silently released, a major RFP In addition, no funding was approved in the 2015-2016 budgets for the two categories that this would have covered. And you'll see the copy of the budget in the handout. The Brown Act 54954.2A2 requires the RFP to be agendized. This RFP was not agendized, nor was a copy of the RFP attached to Agenda H1 on September 22nd. Second violation, 5494.2B, requires the board to publicly identify the item they intend to take action on if it is an emergency issue. This does not qualify under 54954B1 through 3, which is the emergency, adding something to your agenda. Third violation, 54954.3, requires that the public have an opportunity to comment on the RFP. And first, Jeff, you don't remember, but there was the same study done in 2013, and I think we paid $30,000 or $40,000 for it. And I have a copy of it, and you can get a copy from Mr. Egan also. The board cannot continue to be bullied by the obsessions and abuses of one supervisor. Our remedy, and there are other remedies and actions we can take, and we intend to. The courthouse square modernization RFP is void, and no further action can be taken on Agenda H2 today. So if you want to continue doing things, he tried 3 times in public, and he didn't get a new boardroom. And this was an unfortunate backroom deal that maybe some of you didn't even know about, but to spend another $133,000 on with no money. You didn't budget any money for this. And the way you did it is kind of sad that you think this kind of stuff is okay. You think the public won't notice. They do notice. And I suggest doing it over the right way. Like I said, this is actionable. You didn't follow the Brown Act, and the time to pay the fiddler is probably today.
Thank you for your opinion and only your opinion. Okay. Any more questions? Annie, come to the podium and say your name.
And the rest of it. Just one day here. And I would like to say, I think the public is looking forward very much to having the board in the new, your new large room, and that more people will come out and you will be able to serve the public in a much better way. And I don't know Mr. Chapman, but he is my supervisor. And I personally take offense to the public trouncing. It's just a bias, and I feel badly, and I'm sorry that happens here, and I'm looking forward to your new facility to be able to come there and have a greater gathering come to that facility.
Thank you, Annie. Anybody else wish to comment on this agenda item? Seeing none, bring it back to the board. What is the board's pleasure?
I know there's been some history of this going on for a while. We've discussed this several times, and it's, I don't know where we are with our capital improvement plan, but it's part of the capital improvement plan. All this has been brought to attention in the past. I know we slowed it down a bit at one time because we didn't have this capital improvement plan in place. Is that correct? Yes.
We didn't have the financing in place.
Right, and now we've had the financing in place for how long?
It was funded in July, June, July. I would point out that the boardroom is a very small part of remodeling the courthouse. The predominant issue there is, of course, the ADA issues with getting people upstairs
to an elevator, they have it moved up.
Now,
You only trap certain people.
also, our intention is to vacate this building, correct? And that's included in this process?
I believe that will be my recommendation once we get the other pieces of the puzzle.
And let's talk about the study that was done before, and I don't know much about that. Who did that, and what's that all about?
We've done many space studies over the years. I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
What one that Mrs. Spencer's
2013. You presented it.
I'm not sure what study.
Okay. So we've done the time and space study and all that there previously, and we're not redoing it with this. This is the...
No, this is an
actual-
architectural engineering.
I just want to get
Yeah.
that out, yeah.